Mame Mao Akwaba and found Dragon and SMTVGH so what frame I do one searching.
Sam George. Ne mame. Mobile money fraud for Ariano 24,240 million. Ghana minister. Our share our system no so no. Fraud for Nanyano. 24,000 Cedis. 240 million. Sam George mame.
Ene Ghana for Mujini se Baumia and you bia ube to me win election. This is the biggest and the best performance by any sitting vice president in the history of Ghana. Let me give you an instance. Professor Mills, Ebrana Owoho, Yamin Fanny Currency, as vice president, no. Sebe say, enye 6 match been a beba, na ye nime juma kra oye. We don't know what Professor Mills was doing. Some of us MPP actually have to come and educate NDC for say Professor Mills na ye we answer no say sa papa no oya there 1 or 2 be eden at the Ghana. But this is what happened. At a Mills bar first time, you know. Ebrana Rollins if you are now beba no. E fan so on the Rollins na na wo ntino. That factor na ye den ekutiano. And it is so in every presidential elections. Se oka team no ho a, here usually no ya na ohun hin kakra. Uti, ya na ohun hin kakra. But se on me ho a, you can now come in as a neutral. So Charlie say ni say me say na me person me say na me person me. Enu hunti Dr. Bawumia was not only just say the vice president to be not to ho. This man was fighting for the first time in his own party a candidate that was not an Akan. That's one factor. May Chiremu said Dr. Bawumia really worked. Mami, you winning free so. Dr. Bawumia really worked. Memo be another said Dr. Bawumia didn't work. Because the max ya unya no see the compare one year baby tremua na papa no ya dear pa looking at the things and ekutiano already. Yeah, started 2020 and started Bawulaya. Odi Akufo-Addo bana de Bawumiaba. Odi Akufo-Addo bana de Bawumiaba. So that is one factor he had. Now, I was talking about Omo Ankasani party. For the first time, he was the non-Akan candidate here. For the first time, yeah, man opportunity say ondi enim. Enti sebio hasomo fancheme. Yena kanfo ni bia. Your orientation and shedanye opened. And I say your civilization and shedanye that broad, no. Your one crophobia or monomoda so genocide, Benina Memani made him so, and Crenny made him so, Tenny made him so. You are come for motors, any a one tough for, any a walk, your friend is saying, a before, any a walk robo for near one other train craft for so almost on pese, I can need bedin so, a natural thing, Sani a tear, Sani Namebo. Sa antina first no ye we ku na nka mo die ni na na bebom but niam ebu wa we be pene we be pene sa na tie. That is how God made it. Okay, so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a candidate here afei na na mo yi no de na ba as the non-Akan say ombedi a predominantly Akan driven party. A predominantly Akan-driven party. So that was one hurdle alone to cross. But he did very well. Because Akanfo also came out to vote for him. That is a good thing. So but they came out to vote. Yes, vote no so to say because like I said, there were hurdles are now adding or fighting. And that's one of them. And then he is also the candidate here. Now, apart from so no ankasa ni internal for no any air strangle ni idea because some of them said they are making more orientation and away no. Now he now have to prove himself to Ghana for ye de say ye trim futin kwalabre mu say Ghana there e Christo for man you because ubenya ni bia Pentecost for bodon apostolic for boy ensem ubenya ni a Church of Christ for church. So praise before the move Methodist for to hymns near the frano. It makes us inculcated in the way say we feel say Yeah, Christo for and I say yeah, Christo mine. But over your constitution as well. Or say Ghana is a secular nation. Ghana a secular nation, but predominantly has a Christian or has a more Christian dominated population. That is all. Inti Sa Adieno was also one hurdler. Not Dr. Bawumia had to fight. And he fought that well. To the point, say, we saw the true meaning pastors and men of God who actually were close to him and helping him out in his campaign and all of that. We saw that happen. So that was one thing. So Dr. Bawumia had to fight. Another thing that Dr. Bawumia had to fight, and then they said the demonization of his character started 4 years straight from 2020 to the election. Bawumia was on the chopping block for everybody. The chopping block. Until for him to even redeem himself, to be able to command a vote of that nature, no. I say MPP for Binom. I won't say Dr. Bawumia performed poorly in this election. There be election now one factor crag in so to say. And the ultimate of them all, that whole tribalistic way of voting had to come in play. That whole tribalistic thing had to come in play. So Dr. Bawumia had to fight over 7 hurdles. You know what is more dangerous? He was the vice president. So whichever anger people had towards the past government was coming to him. So tell me, when somebody manages out of all these things to come up with 41% as a first timer, and you sit down and tell me that person didn't perform, then I'm sorry, you are only doing the regular type of politics, no, even penasem or your cremoni or your creni or your tugbe or your one and pesa. That is what we are doing. And funny enough, that hasn't developed in a nation. Not that I know. Or maybe anyone has had a developer. No. Intimesre. More modern nam send about Bawumia Krumufu and to Abama and let me the receipt natural. Menkawatro. Now let's get into the main reason why we came here. Dr. Bawumia, maybe I will be a shedding. Na me suru. Shedding wo yesumu. Unyamia wo somno dada. Eyono no beji wo. Unyamia wo somno dada. Eyono no beji wo. Why? Me suru. Me hihim. Me muhu. So cheni buse den krana de nyame akafa wo Dr. Bawumia wo no eno ne bebem na nka wan adwene sa akwada aketo a wo saka eli park bi so Dr. Bawumia park bi so ohia ni bi ba a woni bi adesua ahobrase enti ena yesi yepe enkrofo ma wo mo akutu wiase amansan, the people who manages the economies of people of countries, big names yepe obi ni omo akokasa adenti na enkrofo we ya omunum ade ehwehwe obi man ni omo akasa because dia wo nim wo book no no wo ma ye ni na enye adwuma.